welcome back to my channel. So I'm quite motivated right now to do some creative stuff, and before I lose my motivation I decided to film another video about how I make a ram horn headpiece. So at least I want to try because I've never made that, and I watched a few tutorials, so yeah, I'm just gonna try to make it and film a video about it if you want to make it yourself. Well, let's see whether I fail or not. So let's just start.
So what you're gonna need is some cardboard box, a ruler, glue gun, some flowers. I always get my flowers at some random stores, for example IKEA. So what I'm doing here is cutting out stripes from the cardboard. So just going to cut out a stripe. I'm cutting out several stripes right now because I want to stick them together so that I have one long stripe that I can roll up. So what I'm doing here is getting rid of the other part of the cardboard so that you can see the waves or the structure in under it. That's what you want. So you just get rid of everything. Here's a better example on how it should be done. And you're just gonna need the left side, like the left stripe, and the other one is just going to be in the bin. Here I am sticking everything together so that I get that one long stripe. So just stick everything together, and it depends on how big you want your horn to be. If the bigger you want it, the longer your stripe needs to be. So now that I have this long stripe, I'm just going to mark the middle of the stripe because I have to cut that later. So here I'm just going to stick my stripe to a pen so it's easier to roll it, and make sure it's pretty tight. Just put some more tape on it so that it won't fall apart. And now you have this roll. Now you want to take a scissor and cut it like I'm doing now. It's a little bit hard, so you better start with the first layers and then you just work towards the layers under it. You now have several stripes that goes from big to small, and as you can see I cut them in half like you can see here, so that I will have two horns. The next step is to glue them together, glue each piece to a circle and put them over each other. So you're going to take the biggest circle and then you'll take the next one and put it inside the biggest circle, and you just continue to do that until you got everything on the top of each other. It's a little bit tricky, so have some patience when you're doing that, because you have to note that everything has to look the same so that the other horn is not going to be smaller or bigger than the first one. So just pay attention to the details. After that, you should have two horns that should look pretty similar, if not the same. And yeah, so that's how you're making horns. I'm just going to link the video where I got this tutorial down below because I think he explained it a little bit better. Now I'm just going to take some newspaper and some wood glue to layer it on the horns to have a little bit more stability. So what you're going to do is mix your newspaper with the wood glue and layer it on top of your horns and wait it to dry. After that, I'm just figuring out how to attach them to the headband, and I'm sticking in a needle so that I have some holes to put through some thread that I'm going to use in order to attach the horns to the headband. It's a little bit tricky, but once you figure it out, just make sure that it's stable and doesn't move around too much, and just use some hot glue to fixate it. And I'm just using acrylics and some watercolor. You don't have to use watercolor, and I wouldn't recommend it, but that was like the only medium I had at that time. That was blue because I wanted to paint my headpiece blue. So I just used that to have some color in it. So just paint it however you want. I did some gradient kind of. Now I'm just going to take some paper and stick it into the holes, as you can see, so that I have some space where I can stick in the flowers later on. So now you're just going to use your flowers and place them however you see fit. I changed it up later after the video, before photo shoot again, so you can change it if you don't really like it, but this is how I did it at the time, and this is just for demonstration, so you kind of get the gist of it. And it's just personal preference which kind of flowers you use or which kind of color you use for your headpiece. This is just how you can do it. And here I'm just going to hide the ugly parts of the headpiece with some more flowers and also some leaves. So just make sure that you don't throw the leaves away when you take the flowers, because those are always very good to hide ugly sides of the headpieces. Here I'm just going to take some white flowers to add some detail, and just figuring out how I can stick it to the headpiece. Now this is the finished headpiece. So as I said, I changed it up a little bit later, but this is how you can do it.
So this is my headpiece, and I hope you liked it. I hope that helped you somehow. I'm still new to this stuff, but as you go along, you learn some new stuff. And if you make it yourself, please tell me about it, show me some pictures, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!